So let's continue to the last talk of today. Mike, the stage is yours. Good luck. Ik denk dat het hier beter is voor de camera. Als het lukt, toch?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this presentation about the Security Godfather, empowering the champions to guard the family. I hope that you are just as excited as I am about this topic, because today you will learn the family secret on how to create a security champion program and the best practices of it. And together we can rise as champions to guard the family and making sure it is as untouchable as the family of Corleone. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Mike van der Bijl, and I will be your Don for today. I've come a long way in this family business. I started my career as a software engineer, performed that duty for 7 years. After that, I became a business analyst. From there on, I rolled to in the role of IT manager, and currently I'm exploring the fields of cybersecurity for 3 years. So when it comes down to DevSecOps, I should be knowing what I'm talking about, because I've seen all perspectives. And when it comes down to my personal mission, it is about putting the people before technology, because most of the time we invent great tools to make our solutions better and safe. However, they don't always fit in the way of working of our colleagues, and that makes them less effective, less efficient. And that's why this presentation is that inspired me to make this presentation, to focus on the people, then the processes, then the technology, because that will help in the end. But enough about me. That's not where you came from. Let's start with the real topic. In this world where threats are lurking in the shadows, analyzing our behaviors and waiting for the right moment to attack us where we are at us most vulnerable. And that's why we have to unite together to safeguard our cherished assets like our solutions, our data, our people, and our very own reputation. It is just like Don Vito Corleone taught us the importance of strength, family, and loyalty. We must too consider our legacy and the future that we are building together. Together we can build an empire that is strong and united. In Italy, we have a little saying that is as follows. The world is currently so tough and cruel that everyone needs a second father to look after them. And that's why they have the Godfather. Or better said, in your organization, it is the person behind the driving force of a security champion program. But later on, about how can you create such a program. Just focus now on and take a moment about why such a program matters and what the benefits are. In application security or DevSecOps, there are a lot of activities that has to be followed in accordance to being following the best practices, but also being compliant. And we cannot expect from our teams to know all these activities without guidance. And that's why we should give them clear directions on what kind of activities they should be doing, how to do those activities, and also when. And also when. And this is where security champion programs becomes essential. It is an effective way of empowering and introducing those initiatives to your teams. To make this a little bit more concrete, you might be familiar with SAM, the Software Assurance Maturity Module. Actually, you hear an outline of those modules. And SAM is a powerful maturity module that outlines all the key activities that an organization should be doing in accordance to following the best practices and enhance their software security assurance. And SAM has categorized all those activities in 5 business functions. Every business function contains 3 best practices, is divided in 2 streams, and every best practice and stream has 1 activity that contains 3 objectives. And this can be quite overwhelming, especially when you realize this is just the starting point of your AppSec DevSecOps journey. And a lot of people ask me always, Mike, where should I start? I always say, start with the organization and culture activity in the best practice of education and guidance of the business function of the governance. Why, would you say? Let's take a closer look at this activity. Then we can see it is closely related to our software security champion program. And the first goal already said out. We should identify a security champion in every single team. Really great, right? And then the second objective is about formalizing this role into the organization, making sure there is specialized security training for developers, architects, product owners, and everyone involved within the software development lifecycle management. And also creating a group of people who can help those champions out with questions, but also validating the architectural choices that we are making. And the last objective is about creating a community, a space where people talk about security, helping each other, supporting each other across teams, divisions, and truly leveraging the collective knowledge of the organization. And reaching this level puts you in a wide sweet spot of creating a successful, engaging security champion program. So, now, why is that? Why should you focus on this activity first? I always said, you're creating a community out of your security champion, but that will make sure your software security posture, your security posture in general, will mature way more faster than ever. Why, would you say? That's actually because of the simple fact of having those security champions. To go a little bit more in detail here, a security champion is a trusted representative of their teams. They can give you valuable insights about what is the actual way of working of those teams and how they want to work. So whenever you come up with a new initiative about an activity, a tool, a technique that you want to introduce, you can have discussions with all these security champions and get valuable insights about how to make it more fit in their way of working. And also, because you have these discussions, they will see the added value of those tools because they are security-minded. And they can advocate it to their teams that this is something we truly need. And that saves you also some time because they speaking also better the language of the developers. And because they see the added value, it fits in their way of working, they are highly likely to actually use your initiatives and are being applying within their way of working. And it will also make sure that because they see it, they want to use it, they are highly likely to contribute on it even more. So now you have created something amazing. You don't push top down with your security initiatives, but actually are enabling the change from within. And if you truly use those feedbacks from them and listen carefully to them, they will come up even themselves with new initiatives. So you now have a top-down enabled from the within and a bottom-up approach. That's really great, because then when we look back at all those activities you should be doing, they will mature way more faster than ever because they become more effectively. Everyone is contributing on those activities, and also your teams are being reached out way more faster than ever. Really great. So now that we understand a little bit about why it matters to have such a program and the benefits of it, let's see how we can create such a vibrant, engaging security champion program. To create a security champion program isn't a task for a lone wolf. It is a task that demands the strength of a strong, united family. You should surround yourself with close allies that believe in your cause. Best practices shows that there's around 6 to 9 people, and they should have all different, unique expertise, and preferably having different backgrounds. So when a security champion comes, you have a broader knowledge bank in your family, but also you have a better reach in the organization, so you can implement it way more faster, and you can approach other teams much more easier and seek out help. And you can think about for the people together in your family about software architects SRAs, platform engineers, auditors, education, and guidance. Try to get the whole software development lifecycle management in your family. So, but remember, gathering a group together in a room doesn't forge a team. A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man. So invest in those relationships. Engage in team building activities. Try to get to know each other. And not just on the realm of the business, but also on a personal level. Try to discover their hobbies, passions, interests, how their lives look like outside of work. Because this will make sure that you understand each other deeply and how everyone will eliminate in certain situations. So you know where it's coming from. You respect and accept each other. And it is also strengthen the bond of trust. And these two are very important in having a cohesive team. And trust is actually something funny. Most of the time we always say, here, you have my trust, or I give you my trust. But actually, trust isn't handed over. It has to be earned. It grows in an environment where everyone feels understood and being valued. And in addition to those deep personal connections. And we should also try together to know what each strengths and weaknesses are, so we can use this knowledge to truly use each talent effectively, so everyone has the biggest amount of impact and added value that everyone can leverage. So they will be more understood and have an added value, feels better, means more loyalty and more trust in the program. And that's really great. Yet, you must remember, you might brought these people together with your initial idea about a security champion program. Yet, true unity is forced from a common goal. No one will follow you when the vision only belongs to you. So we have to evolve our vision into a vision that belongs to everyone. A shared dream. Call it the vision of the family. And to craft a clear, compelling vision, we should consider the following 5 components: imaginable, desirable, feasible, focused, and communicatable. Starting with imaginable. We should convey a clear picture of the future state, how a security champion program will look like when it is being implemented. So you could consider drawing a picture of a security operation maturity module, what showcase how the responsibilities and roles are, like software security, architect, IT lead, product owners, and how they will work together, and where the responsibility ends and starts from each other. And also describe why having a security champion program is better, this initiative, than doing things the old way. Sometimes a new initiative isn't always a step forwards. Sometimes it's always a backwards. So write us down why it is important. Because then we can look at the desirable. What is our security champion program appealing to the long-term interests of those who have a stake in the organization? Think about senior management, C-directors. And we should describe clearly on a business level about the advantage of having a security champion in the development teams than just focusing on shift left, or better said, expanding to the left. Because when we shift left, we forget about the later stages. When we expand to the left, we do both, the first and the later stages. But that's a discussion for another time. Make sure you really describe it well. What is the benefit of having it in a development team than just the shift left, expanding left situation? Then feasible. We should describe realistic and attainable goals from our security champion program. What is it what we want? How are we going to achieve those goals? And why do we want those? And this can be things like, we want to spend an X amount of time on security. We want to have an X amount of time of X amount of meetings with a security topic in our organization. We want to reach a certain level of knowledge in the organization, or we want to improve our CI/CD pipeline to a 2.5 out of 3 maturity. All real great goals. look, what is the goal for your? You can have multiple ones. And it would be really beneficial for you if you can tie those goals up to the overarching security goals or the IT development goals, or even better, the business goals. And this will go a long way when you have to seek investors. But that in a little while, more about it. Then we can see about focused. A clear vision should give you some guidance in decision making. So what are the boundaries of a security champion? What is the commitment towards the program by senior management? What can we expect from a security champion? What is their role? Is it the role to safeguard the entire organization, or just a part of it? Which part of it is it then? And what is their role within the development teams? And what is the conversation? And also with security experts. Think about it, write them down, because this will help a long way in decisions. And then the final thing is about communicatable. If a vision isn't communicatable, it is just a fake image in your head. But that's actually not what I want to talk about here. You have to write down your vision at 2 levels. One, very exhaustively, very in detail, so you know exactly what, when, why, how it is going to be your secure program. But this one isn't really great to show to senior management or C-directors or just someone you met at the coffee corner that you want to tell about the amazing thing you are working on. And that's why you should try to create a picture that showcases how a security champion is enabling the IT goals, security goals, or again, better, the business goals. And this will go a long way within your organization. At the end, it is this shared purpose, vision, and the family bond that will make sure your security champion program becomes formidable, successful, and one that stands the test of time. So, now that we understand how to create a vision, what components you should have in it, we can start with the next step, and that is about gathering the time and resources we need to implement for our security champion program. So we need to seek for investors, aka our senior management. But before we approach to them, we should try to learn about them. What are their preferences? What is their decision-making style? And we should seek a consigliere, a trusted advisor who can give us valuable information about senior management, who actually knows what kind of person is it. So he can tell us about what type of language we should resonate or which one to avoid, and how they actually running their business. And these small details will make sure we can tailor our approach effectively so we can make them an offer they can't refuse. And for those who are familiar with The Godfather, rest assured, I don't say we should threaten them with our lives or put an animal head at their night at their bed. I'm just talking about a genuine offer that is so great that they can't say anything else than, yes, I want this. No, I need this. So, great. Currently, we have a core family who is united and a strong bond. And we have our investors on board. Now we should think really strategically about our program. What kind of program do we want? What kind of program do we need? What for persons are we looking for in our security champion role? And what kind of mandate, knowledge, skills do they require? Where they'll start, where they'll stand, etc. It would be really great if we can create a targeted profile, a persona, about how the ideal security champion would look like. Because when we have this, we can create those great champions. Because in your organization, probably you don't have it right now. So you have to educate those great champions. And that's really great, because that means you can create roadmaps. Because we all know, great people aren't born great, they grow great. And when building a security champion program, the hardest task, and maybe the most important one, is identifying the right person to fulfill those duties of the security champion. Because this role shouldn't be taken lightly. This isn't just any skilled developer. There's someone who is going to help you being in charge in the creating a culture of software security posture enhancement within your organization. It is someone who needs to be inspiring, can help others, being a mentor. But how does this person look like? What is the ideal security champion? Luckily for us, Don Vito Corleone gave us 10 attributes every champion should need. 5 core and 5 soft attributes. Let's focus on that part now. Starting with the core attributes. Curiosity and eager to learn. A security champion should be naturally curious and eager to learn and try to understand the complexity of security. And don't just follow the best practices. It actually wants to understand why this approach is better than others. And in which situations is this in the case of? And they know that security, IT development are constantly changing fields. So they have a natural passion about learning new things is essential. And then we have the technical expertise in software development. A security champion is often typically a software developer, but it doesn't have to be. And that's why they should have at least a strong knowledge in general programming fundamentals. But also they should be familiar with the programming language used within the organization. And they should have hands-on experience with software development itself. And additionally, they should be very well versed within the security aspects of the software development lifecycle. All the way from the starting point, when you are creating your epics, features, user stories, to secure code writing, to code reviews, deployment, and even all the way up to the maintenance and operations part is important to know. Then we have security awareness and knowledge. Well, security champions doesn't have to be a full security expert. They should have at least a strong knowledge in key principal security concepts like vulnerability management, threat modeling, and secure software, secure code practices. And they should be familiar with concepts like OWASP top 10, common attack threats like SQL injection, SQL injection threat reversal attacks, brute force attacks, and man in the middle. Then, ability to spot and communicate risks. A security champion should be able to spot vulnerabilities in the code base, but also on a process level as early as possible and see the associated risk with them. And maybe more importantly, they should be able to communicate it to technical people, but also non-technical stakeholders, and making sure security becomes relatable and understandable. And the last one is about empathy. A security champion should have a genuine empathy towards their development team because they are on continuous tight pressure of delivering features with a high quality and with tight deadlines. And empathy will help them to make sure they can introduce security measures without without adding friction towards them, and making sure they see why it is beneficial for them in the long run. Now, these are the core attributes. Now, about the soft parts. Strong communication and mentoring skills. A security champion should be able to communicate risk easily and security terms. In addition, it should be able to communicate, educate people about all those security controls, measures, best practices, without making them feel overwhelming and going defensively. It should lead by example and offering guidance and mentorship. And they should also be approachable. Then we have about collaboration and teamwork. A security champion is going to be a team player. It has to collaborate with a lot of people. Think about architects, the development team, other development teams, product owners, security experts, IT leads. and they should be a team player for that. But also because they are collaborating with bridging the gap between development and security and trying to create a culture where security becomes everyone's responsibility. And then we have a mindset of problem solving. A security champion should think critically and quickly come up with security solutions when a issue arises. And they should be able to handle situations where security might be in conflict with the IT goals and negotiate effective solutions. So everyone, all the stakeholders, are still happy and know where we're going, and there's no bad negatives. Then a security champion has to be a leader and an advocacy. And they are the go-to persons when it comes to security concerns within the project. So it is essential that they have the ability to inspire their teammates and in such a way that it doesn't come across as heavy or obstructive. They should lead by influence, inspiring their teams to take security seriously and show them how the best practices can help them and has an added value towards the solutions and the quality that we are building. Then we have, okay, I think I covered this one earlier, sorry. Then, in conclusion, I've got one about the core, hands-on experience with security tools. That is one. Additionally, a security developer should be familiar with security tooling like SCA, SAST, DAST, secret scanners, vulnerability manager, etc. Because this will give them a posture of how good their solutions are in security-wise. And they can guide their team in fixing those vulnerabilities easily. And also they should be able to automate these scans in CI/CD pipelines. So they have more time about the guidance part, mentorship. So, okay, let's continue to this slide. Sorry for that one. In conclusion, a security champion, in addition to those development skills, they are more than that. They are proactive, empathic, inspiring, collaborative leaders who believe in the cause of security and the well-being of the enterprise. And nurturing with these skills, abilities, and knowledge, they make sure that our Security Champion program creates a culture where it empowers, security empowers everyone, developers, architects, managers, and beyond, to create safer and more resilient software. In the end, to build more resilient software, Great, now that we have created a profile about how our security champion would look like, now it's time, my family, to seek out the security champions actually. We need to find our friends who are willingly to help us and believe in our cause. And friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It's more than government. It's almost as equal as family. And that's why we should create a community out of it. And to create a community out of it, we should consider at least defining a purpose, a goal, the scope of the community that is aligned with our vision that we have created earlier on. And we should assign dedicated family members who will interact with the community frequently and create measurable success criteria and continuous monitoring on it so we can see if we are still on the right track. Then we should define how the community will align with the overarching security strategy and objectives. And we should have a family member who is attending to strategic update sessions, but it will be even greater if we can find a security executive who will give us provide periodically updates in our community to showcase where are we going, what is the strategic, how it is going with the execution, and how can the champions help them out, and where do they play a role in it. Then establishing regular communication channels and collaboration to make sure that security champions can interact with each other and also with the security team, the family. And this can be done through online forums, chat groups, shared workspaces, social media accounts, mailing lists. It doesn't matter if it is just a platform that fulfills everyone's needs. And so like asking questions, having discussions, providing updates, and truly using this platform as an active knowledge bank for the organization. Then we have organized periodically events and activities for security champions to interact with each other and learn from each other. And this can be done through workshops, demos, presentations, panel discussions, group discussions, quizzes, games, etc. It is about showcasing a solution of security, an issue, a challenge that might be arised, a project that is going on. And it would be really great if you can add an element of gamification towards it, because this will motivate them even more, making sure they are more engaged. And think about, for example, capture the flag is really a nice example of it. A really great way to showcase your skills, your knowledge, helping each other, learning from each other. And also, it has a competitive edge, right? Who's the best? And this always also triggers the curiosity of the development teams. Like, hey, what is security? The added value of it towards their solutions. But focusing on events and activities that is about knowledge gaining is really great. But we should also consider creating regular events about fun, getting to know each other, because we want a community. Community means loyalty, trust, and that means also personal connections are really great and important. Then, as our security champions wise and mature in their role, we should acknowledge and reward them about their milestones they have achieved. And it isn't about the incentives that we are giving them. It is about a powerful motivator and making it part of sustaining our strong, effective security champion program. And the first part is about acknowledging and rewarding security champions plays a pivot role in several ways. First and foremost, it is fuel about their enthusiasm and dedication towards the program. And when they see it is being appreciated, it will strengthen their sense of ownership. It will make sure that they take on even more initiative about deepen the security within their development teams. And this kind of recognitions also helps them see that they have a positive impact on the organization. Then a rewarding program also cultivates a culture of a continuous improvement. As a security champion evolves and mature in their role and deepen and broaden their knowledge, we should celebrate those milestones and reward them, like giving them public acknowledgement, badges, trophies, certifications, or maybe more tangible things like leading workshops, represent their company at external events, or contributing to strategic discussions will go a long way. And this validation motivates them even more to keep pushing their boundaries of their skills and knowledge. Then, in addition, rewarding champions reinforce the collective success of the security champion program. It creates an atmosphere where security is not seen as an individual task, responsibility, but something to be proud of, something to be celebrated by the entire organization. And it reinforces a community mindset and helping champions feel like they matter and they are part of something bigger than just their own role. And finally, a rewarding system is an instrument in talent retention. When the organization demonstrates that it values your expertise and the contributions they make, It will encourage the individuals to stay engaged with the program for a longer time. And this reduces turnover and motivate the champions who are invested in the ongoing success of the organization. In the end, rewards aren't just about the incentives, the celebration of the achievements. It is about motivating and reinforcing the gratitude that people put the efforts in to make security a core part of the organization's culture. And to build a successful security champion program, we have to, it's essential to invest in those development and the growth of our champions. The investments we make today isn't about just growing into their role. It is about strengthening the security posture in the organization for the long run. And supporting their growth and development is an essential part of it. We should give them opportunities to learn and advance in their career. Yeah, I already said it. Security is a constantly evolving field, so they should always be up to date with the latest knowledge, trends, activities, tools, and threats that can come after us. And so we should give them regular training, access to certifications, and maybe attend security conferences like these to stay up to date with the latest knowledge. And additionally, we should create personalized growth paths for those champions to show them what kind of skills they should be developing, what milestones they should aim for, and what kind of leadership roles they could lead into are really great. And it will show them that you are invested in their professional development and where you want to go, and they feel valued and supported. So I will go a little bit faster to the slides because I see I don't have too much time anymore. But ensure they feel valued. It isn't about just the rewards that we are giving them. It is also making sure they feel valued on a personal level, that their contribution matter, that they matter as a person. So check in regularly with them. Like, ask them, how are you feeling today? Do you have anything, have you everything that you need to advance in your career? And those kind of questions. And this will show them that you really invest in their growth, that you really appreciate them. And try also to acknowledge by leadership that their contribution matter. Then, while it is important to invest in our security champions, it is equally important to anticipate the natural turnover or personal change leaves, because everyone is on the move constantly. Organizations change, team dynamics evolves, so we should think of a way to anticipate for it. So you can think of creating a strategy plan about identifying new potential security champions all the time, to have a steady pipeline of it. So when someone leaves, you can replace it easily with someone else. And moreover, make sure your security program is scalable. So write down documentations, guidelines, training material, so that every new champion can step in more easily. And make sure you have knowledge sharing within the organization, because when someone leaves, the organization, the knowledge stays within the community, so you can keep on the momentum of your program. So in this cruel world where we are currently living right now, we can't afford to wait trouble knocking on the door. We have to unite and to safeguard our solutions, our family. And today you have learned valuable lessons about how to create a family, how to create a team. Learn how to get the investors on board, how to create a profile, and how a security champion should look like. And you know how to invest them. And not just with tools, techniques, and knowledge, but also with opportunities, motivation, guidance, and mentorship. And maybe more importantly, you know how to keep the momentum on of your security champion program alive, to make sure Your legacy doesn't fade away, but grows stronger with every generation, because the threat we see isn't the worst one. It's actually the one that we ignore. And we don't just create a program, we make them an offer they can't refuse, to stand with us, to protect what matters, to become the guardians of the future. And this is our security family. Thank you so much for having me here, listening, and your attention. If you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them. Once again, thank you, and may your family be as untouchable as the Corneo, the family. Thank you.